Yeah, mute. Welcome back to Hamilton High School. Sorry about that interruption. We're out here in the stands broadcasting from Hamilton right now. There's no room in the booth for us, and so we're dealing with a little bit of Wi-Fi issues, but we're trying our best to bring you guys the coverage. And while we were away, Mason was able to force a Hamilton punt, but they are backed up deep into their own territory again. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Comets at their own 13. It's Ashurst looking towards the right side, and that one intercepted. Jalen Morris.
Ashurst passes intercepted by
and just jumps Braden Greer's route. Almost felt like Ashurst forced that one a little bit. So Hamilton starting inside the Comet red zone at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, big play right there. I mean, Ashurst just got out of his hand quickly. Looks like even before he made a read, it looks like a designed out route just to Greer. Jalen Morris just able to make an amazing read on the ball right there. That was a great play. As this looks like going to be another Big Blue score, and this might get out of Hanson.
So Mathis will hand it off to Bennett McCoy. Bennett McCoy with a nice jump cut. Picks up 2 yards on the carry. 3 yards, excuse me, and that'll be brought down at the Comet 6-yard line.
Yeah, 3-yard gain right there for the Big Blue. If you're the Comets defense, you're okay with that, just as long as, just as long as they're still on the green turf and not the blue turf. You just still want them there. You can afford those 1 or 2 yard gains for rushes, just as long as you prepare for the pass and are able to defend for that. Then most of the time they should be fine.
Timeout taken by the Big Blue.
And Hamilton's going to call their second timeout. Hamilton's going to call their second timeout of the first half. And I like that. I like that decision by Coach R.V. Crouch. Just dropped the perfect play here. Crucial field position. The difference between a 16 or 17-point lead and a 12-point lead is very different.
Yeah, that's right, and especially in a position like this where you have a quarterback in Mathis and you have a passing game that's strong enough where if you're in a situation, let's say like a 2-minute or 4-minute drive scenario where you don't have a whole lot of timeouts, then you know that you can rely on his arm to either throw it out of bounds or go out of bounds, where I think you're okay with spending a timeout to drop a play like this early and just building on top of that lead.
2nd and 6 now for the Big Blue. Mathis in the shotgun. Goldsmith is his running back to the right, and he's going to take it himself up the middle. Comet's able to contain him. Picks up 2 yards on the carry. It'll be a 3rd down.
It's going to be an interesting play call right here. 3rd and 4. It's not close enough where you can stack the offensive line and just try to, push a guy over the end zone, but it might be too close where you start to worry about if you have enough room for a receiver to generate space. So it's kind of interesting to see what this Big Blue offense is going to drop here.
Mathis has a man in motion. It's Shepard Ruffin, but Mathis will take it himself. Tries to bulldoze into the end zone, but he'll be stopped at the 1.
It looks like a fake jet sweep with the QB power. I like the play call. Try to keep the Comets defense off guard, but just a great read right there. You're going to force a 4th and goal. It's going to be a very crucial play.
And it looks like Hamilton is going to stay on the field, and I like that decision. You got nothing to lose here. And Hamilton will call their final timeout of the first half.
Looks like they're going to pull out the whiteboard once again, drop another play. Well, we're about 5 minutes left until halftime here. It's 9-0 Big Blue, and I think so far it's been more of a one-sided affair, it looks like, for this game. You talk about that Big Blue offense, they've just been able to have a nice mix of a passing game and a rushing game. And this Comets offense so far, we've seen flashes of Ashurst and what he can do in the run game. It's just not able to just put it together, I think, for one solid drive. I think they have 3 timeouts, though, and they do have a lot of time because they will, regardless, get the ball back, I think, with at least 5 minutes to go. So I think if you're the Comets here, I think your goal is probably at least 1 touchdown before, or a score before you head into the locker room.
Yeah, the big thing here, stopping the Big Blue here on 4th down. Crucial play as Mathis in the shotgun. Comets loading the box, he'll take it himself. And Mathis will sneak his way into the end zone. And another touchdown for the Big Blue. And it looked like for a second the Comets defensive line got to him, but he was able to sneak free and go cut to the outside, extending the Big Blue lead to 15.
Yeah, Comets was able to, looks like they're pressing up the middle. It looks like Mathis for a second had nowhere to go, but he just made a great read, just able to bounce off to the outside, able to gain that final yard they needed to get that score. This is going to look like a 15-0 game, looking to be 16-0.
Stevens. Extra point is up and good, so the Hamilton lead 16-0. And I tell you what, Braid, a little bit of a shocker here at Hamilton High School. We knew this was going to be a good, we anticipated this was going to be a pretty tight game. You know, both these teams, the GMC is pretty even this year. Anybody can, beat anybody on any day. But Hamilton coming out with a lot of fire and a lot of spark.
Yeah, I mean, the parallels between the two teams, they both lost their first out-of-conference games of the year. They came back both and won their first GMC matches of the year, both 1-1. And we saw them play last year too, and they played a pretty close game as well. But so far, like you were saying, this has been all Big Blue so far.
Yeah, and speaking of last year's game, exact same quarterback situation for the Comets. Larson Brown went down in week 1. And week 2, the backup Quentin Kaler stepped in and had himself a pretty nice game. Comets relied heavily on that run game. And tell you what, heading into week 3 now for the Big Blue, Comets lose their quarterback in the game before, and the backup stepping in. Yeah, and I'm curious to see if the Comets start to rely on this run game more. I really liked what I saw from Talley last drive, and we'll see if Comets decide to stick with him. So Stevens boots it away for the Big Blue. Received by Dunn at the 10. Trying to work his way towards the left side of the field, but it'll be wrapped up just past the 20 with 5:01 remaining in this second quarter. And this is a crucial drive for the Comets. They've got to get points on the board. Even if it's just a field goal, they will get the second half kickoff. So, if they can get some points on the board this drive, get some points on the board to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I think just from like a logistical standpoint, but I think mentally too. If you, it's been a pretty rough half for the offense so far. I think if you can get a score, you come in the locker room, you get something to build off of, then your second half is looking a lot better than how it's looking right now.
Talley is the back, Ashurst under center. And Ashurst drops the snap. Luckily, he's able to fall on top of it.
Snap is fumbled. Recovered by Kate Ashurst.
So 2nd and 11 now. That'll be a loss of 1. Just one less play for the Comets to start this drive.
Yeah, looks like a bit of miscommunication right there on the dropped football. You hate to see it. It's going to be 2nd and 11 now for the Comets after a loss of 1. We're just fortunate, though, that they were able to fall on top of it, not give the Big Blue another scoring opportunity.
Ashurst under center again. The handoff to Talley. Talley chugging forward.
Guy tallies the ball carrier for Mason.
Able to pick up a few yards on the carry.
Gain of 2 is going to bring him 3rd and 9.
It'll be 3rd and 9 for the Comets.
Yeah, it's only a 2-yard gain, but it was still a great play by Talley. I mean, he had some great vision on that play, able to find a line. You saw the center pulling out. And he was able to find that gap between the left guard and the center. Just that Big Blue defense just was able to swarm on him pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Comets offensive line looking a little different today. Jude Kendall starting at center. So could play a role in that fumble. As Asher send the shotgun now on 3rd down, feeling some pressure. Stays on his feet, scrambling to the left. And that ball almost picked up. He had a lot of green grass ahead of him. I'm a little surprised we didn't see Asher tuck that one there.
Yeah, we saw the legs turning. He was pulling off towards left sideline. I thought he had the chance to make a break for it, but he just threw the ball at the last second. And that was just – it was a very small window he was trying to throw to. It looked like it closed quickly.
Officials are meeting together, so didn't see a penalty flag on the play. Could be looking at whether or not Asher's maybe crossed the line of scrimmage on that throw. He looked like he built up some illegal forward pass, but we'll wait the official call. And they will call an illegal forward pass.
Illegal forward pass, loss of down. Ball be spotted at the 20-yard line.
Well, I think we've had a wide collage of penalties today. We've seen some offsides. We've seen some false starts. Now forward pass, knocked that out for a bingo card. I mean, you don't see that every day. Forward pass is just something pretty rare.
Another frustrating drive for the Comets as they'll be forced to punt. Smith is going to have to boot that one away, but does not come off his foot right. And that'll end up netting 8 yards total on the punt. So Hamilton, beautiful starting field position yet again. So they'll have it at the Comet 28.
Yeah, and I think that you were saying it earlier, but that loss of Quinn Brown is hurting on more than one side of the football. I mean, at the QB position and the punting too, just hasn't been firing on all cylinders this game. And big reason why Big Blues got 16 points is because of field position.
Mathis takes a snap. It'll be a handoff to Bennett McCoy. Comets D-line does a nice job of stuffing him there. Just a 1-yard gain.
Tackle goes to Noah Dowers.
Tackle will be awarded to Noah Dowers, the junior defensive end. He's had a nice start to the season. .256 left in the half, and I think we're going to see Hamilton try to tick that clock away. They don't want the Comets back on the field, and this could be in range for Stevens as Mathis drops back, looking towards the right, finds a wide open Navy.
Mathis Jr.'s pass is completed to Kyron Navy.
Pick up 8 yards.
That was a great pressure by Malachi Reed. I mean, despite the result of the play, you still got to love that rush attempt from Malachi Reed. Just able to get his hands up, Mathis just made a great read on the ball and just able to fire out of his hands before he got hit. Again, I think the front line of this defense is performing really well this game.
3rd and 2 now. There'll be a handoff to Bennett McCoy. And Liam McMahon's is holding his fist up, indicating that he thinks the Comets got to stop, and it looks like they will.
Ryan Davis with the tackle.
So 4th and 1 now. Clock still ticking. We're under 2 minutes now. I believe Hamilton's going to go for it.
Yeah, 4th and 1. You have no way to stop the clock right now, so you can't really try to get the field goal team out and going here without having to rush it. So I think the only possibility you have here is to go for it.
There'll be a handoff up the middle to Bennett McCoy, and looks like the Comets are able to come out with a stop. So a huge turnover forced by Mason. Clock will stop at 1:26. They have all 3 timeouts.
Tackle made by Tyler Dalton.
Tyler Dalton come up with a huge stop there.
That was made just short of
If Comets are able to drive down the field, get some points on the board, could have some new life headed into halftime, but the big key there is the Big Blue lead held still to just 2 scores.
Yeah, listen, I just, before I head to the half, I just want to say this Comet defense has done, I think, a pretty good job today, especially on the front lines. The rushing attack for Hamilton has been pretty stifled so far. It's just the field position that Hamilton's been at it's just pretty brutal, at least for our standpoint.
Ashurst in the shotgun. High snap. He's going to take it himself, using his legs, and he'll pick up 9. I tell you what, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the legs of Caden Ashurst. We saw he did have that rushing touchdown last week, a QB sneak, but Ashurst is pretty athletic, so if we see some of those 9-yard gains like that, Coach Castro's going to be happy.
That's a genius play call, too, because when you got a guy that hasn't had a whole lot of experience, you don't have a lot of film on this guy, you don't know that he can run at all. So you get a read option right there, and Ashurst does a great job getting out of bounds, too. That's a great play.
Clock stops as he ran out of bounds, so 1:20 on the clock, 2nd and 1. Ashurst looking towards the right side of the field, and probably should have been another interception, but that one in and out of the hands of Caleb White, and he's frustrated with himself after that one.
Yeah, that throw right in the breadbasket is just brutal. I mean, just had it right in front of him. I think everybody on this everybody on the away side, too, thought that he had it, but just dropped it at the end.
3rd and 1 now. The handoff to Tally, and a flag's thrown late. And I think this might be a face mask. Tally fell down pretty weird, and he was tugging at his helmet afterwards. This would be a huge pickup for the Comets. Unsportsmanlike. It looks like it will be a face mask. So not only does Tally pick up the 1st down, but he'll get an additional 15 yards after the play, and the clock continues to stop. So only 20 seconds, came off the clock on that down.
Yeah, 20 seconds so far. All of them have been run plays. I mean, Comets haven't passed the ball much, but so far, 2-minute offense is kind of going against the grain of what we do.
1:07 now on the clock. Ashurst dropping back, feeling pressure. It's a screen pass to Tally.
Ashurst pass intended for Sky Tally.
Pass is incomplete. Nice coverage there on the line from Grayson Goldsmith, the junior linebacker. Bring up 2nd and 10 with just over a minute left in this half.
Yeah, Ashurst took a pretty big hit right there. When you got a screen, you got the lineman vacating, you got to get that ball out of your hands quickly, and Ashurst is not able to get enough time able to do that. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Stops the clock, though.
1:03 as Ashurst takes the shotgun snap, drops back, looking towards the right side of the field. He's able to get it to Colin Billhorn. Wrapped up for a 4-yard gain. Coach Castro is going to signal for a timeout. Or excuse me, not going to signal for a timeout. Ashurst, the quick snap. Looking towards the right side yet again, and that ball just low. Officials are going to call. They're going to say it's an interception.
I think it bounced off the receiver. He's still going.
Ashurst's pass is intercepted by Jalen Morris.
Jalen Morris' 2nd pick of the game. It looks like from our angle, it was a comeback route. It looks like it tipped off the receiver's hand, and it just bounced in the air into Jalen Morris's area, as that's going to give the Big Blue now a great position here.
Yeah, another momentum killer for the Comets. It looked like they were just starting to get things going offensively. Another costly turnover. So that's Ashurst's 2nd pick of the first half. So with that caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. We had the sideline blocking our view, but Mathis looking down the field, and he finds Shepard Ruffin for a 35-yard pickup.
What a catch. Oh, my goodness. able to get up there, show off his vertical. As now Big Blue trying to score here. So they're going to spike it.
So Mathis will clock it with 18 seconds on the clock. Hamilton's going to have 1 or 2 more plays. Try to get in the end zone. And this was about worst case scenario for the Comets.
Yeah, I think it happened so
in
quickly.
this final 2 minutes.
I know. We went from the Comets went from 50-yard line in their position to now back on defense, 1st and goal for the big, or 2nd and goal for the Big Blue.
2nd and goal at the 4. Mathis rolling to his left, and he's able to get it to R.J. Shepard, and the Big Blue tack on another 6 points before heading into the locker room. So 22-0 now the score with 12 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, looks like a flat route right there to Shepard. I mean, we just saw him pick up that 35-yard gain, and now he gets to add a touchdown to that stat line. He's having a pretty amazing game right now.
And to attempt the extra point for Hamilton will be Connor Stevens.
So Connor Stevens now back with the extra point attempt. And it's up and good. So Hamilton looks like they're going to head into halftime with a 23-point lead over the Mason Comets. Still got 12 seconds remaining in the first half. So Comets, could potentially pull something off here on the kickoff. But this Comets sideline is absolutely deflated right now.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling Coach Castor and his staff aren't going to be too happy headed into the break.
I mean, coming into this game, I think from both Big Blue fans and Comets fans, I think in almost all the scenarios you run in your head, the score that you're looking at right now probably was not one of them. 23-0 against what we thought coming in was 2 very evenly matched teams, and it's just been a one-sided affair so far. I mean, there have been unlucky moments, I think, for the Comets too. That interception we just saw was pretty bad, but so far this Hamilton offense, I mean, it's just been firing all cylinders. Their defense is being the job done, and dare I say, they've just been playing amazing this game.
Hamilton will boot it away. Kick return.
Amit Garnett, it looks like.
And Mead Garrett. Able to bring it to the Hamilton 24. So Comets could potentially try to take one shot here. Only 6 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, maybe some Houdini magic, who knows. Might try a Hail Mary, a shot downfield. I think, especially for an energy perspective, you got to at least try to score, because I think if you just try to eat the clock out, that's just...
And it looks like
going to be deflating.
Comets are just going to knee it. Try to head into halftime, not wanting to risk another turnover. Ashurst will take the knee. And that will bring us to the end of the first half here from Virgil Schwarm Stadium. It's been all Hamilton as they hold the 23-0 lead over the Mason Comets. And we'll see what adjustments the Comets are going to make at halftime, but they've got a lot of work to do. So 23-0 the score here at Hamilton High School. We're bringing you the rest of the action here on Mason Sports Radio. Welcome back to Hamilton High School. The Comets trailing the Hamilton Big Blue 23-0. Not the first half we were expecting or hoping for. And the Comets just had a lot of costly turnovers. The one positive, though, they will get the opening half or the second half kickoff. So hopefully, Coach Castor is able to fire the squad up during halftime and potentially the Comets get some momentum rolling.
Yeah, and I think we talked about the Comet offense so far. No points on the board, but I think there's more to that story than just the scoreboard. I mean, they've had some flashes here and there, just haven't been able to put a solid drive together.
And Dunn will receive the kickoff around the 5. And he finds some room on the outside. Get dragged down after a 25-yard return. The Comets will start at their own 30-yard line. The Comets looking to trot back onto the field. And Brandon, what are some adjustments that the Comets offense need to make?
Well, I think the big one is they've had a pretty bad turnover problem. I mean, 2 interceptions. You had a botched fumble also that almost was turned over on the last drive. And I think another one is just special teams, but basically all of what this is amounting to is easy possession for the Big Blue.
Asher's in the shotgun. Austin Schaaf, the running back, taking his first snap as a Comet, and he cuts across the field and turns what looked like it would have been about a 2-yard loss into a 5-yard gain. It looks like Caden Asher's going to check out of the game. And the Comets, we're going to have a new starting quarterback, Ashton Schaaf. Schaaf, a junior. It's his first year at Mason.
They're coming out 5'10", 150 from Lakota West.
So Talley is the running back, and this could, throw a wrench in Hamilton's defensive plans. Schaaf will hand off to Talley. And Talley finds some space and picks up 20 yards on the carry. And I tell you what, Braden, I think this Hamilton defense is a little perplexed.
Smash mouth football right there. Talley just able to find room up the middle. You saw him bounce off a couple of guys right there, able to get a big gain. That's right out of the gate. Comets just firing all cylinders on the rushing so far. It was like a punch in the mouth for like a Hamilton defense.
So Schaaf's in the shotgun. Talley is tailback right behind him. 1st and 10 now. Comets at midfield. Another handoff to Talley. Talley chugging forward, only able to pick up 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, it looks like he's right there with the tackle. Did a great job on the play. Looks like he was coming from the end, but coming behind Talley to make that tackle. It's going to be a 2nd and 7 now for the Comets. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of play call we're going to see here with the new quarterback.
Schaaf will take the snap, takes it himself. And he'll pick up about 5 yards on the carry, so a manageable 3rd and 3 now for the Comets. And I tell you what, sense of new life starting to grow here in these Comet stands. Today we apologize for we've been having some Wi-Fi issues. We're broadcasting from the away stands right now on the bleachers, but just trying to bring you all some coverage. But 3rd and 4 now. Schaaf will toss it to Talley. Talley will be brought down by Carter Isaacs. A loss of 1. So 4th and 5. Comets in Hamilton territory. I want to say for the first time tonight, Brayden, correct me if I'm wrong. But at the Big Blue 45. And this is a key 4th down for momentum here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Comets, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'd send it here just because I think you just need a switch. Getting a 4th down here would be clutch, and I think it just start to shift momentum back to this green sideline.
Schaaf takes the snap, rolling towards his right, finds his tight end, Cale Jordan, but a big hit from Carter Isaacs. Jordan only pick up 3 yards, and it'll be a turnover on downs. And tell you what, I liked the play there, Braden, but just a great open field tackle from Carter Isaacs, and was able to stop the big tight end from pushing forward.
With a big hit right there too. This Big Blue defense has been feasting all day. And I think Carter Isaac, we see a lot of him more in the second half so far, but he's been a big part of this defense as well. But again, back to what you were saying, I like the play call too. That was a great play action call. It's just wasn't able to formulate in the open field.
Mathis all alone in the backfield. Man in motion is McCoy. There'll be a screen pass on the outside to R.J. Shepard. And he's finding some space on the outside. We'll see where they officially said he stepped out of bounds. And they'll say right at midfield, a gain of 8 for Shepard.
Yeah, it looks like they had Cornell Bennett right there in the jet sweep for the fake. When you do that, you're essentially drawing the defense off towards the left, and then in that case, you had a screen set off to the right. You're kind of mismatching the defense, and that led to the big gain right there.
Mathis again all alone in the backfield. McCoy in motion. Mathis looking towards the center of the field. In and out of the hands of his big tight end, Nasir Harper. And Harper frustrated with himself after that one.
Oh, that was it looks like a drop ball. 3rd and 2, though. You're still in a good position to get a first down, but that's one of the few times we've seen this Big Blue offense level today.
So Bennett McCoy is right behind Mathis. It'll be a handoff to him, and he finds some green grass. Able to slice through the Comet defensive line. And a huge pickup, 25 yards. Will be more than enough for a Hamilton first down. Tammy Adesanya with the tackle for the Comets.
Yeah, this Big Blue offense just no signs of stopping right here. All gas, no brakes.
.754 left in this 3rd quarter. Hamilton near the Comets' red zone yet again. As Mathis with the jet sweep, handoff to McCoy. And McCoy
takes the carry down to the 16-yard line.
Wrapped up after a 7-yard gain.
Tackle by Chad Highchell.
Yeah, jet sweep once again. I think what I like a lot about this Big Blue offense is that you get a lot of looks and you get a lot of people in motion. And I think that's part of the reason why they've been so successful, because if you keep the defense off balance, you give them a lot of different looks that they have to react to. Then a lot of the times you get a lot of options.
Mathis going to take this one himself, shaking free. But Tammy Adesanya going to bring him down.
Antonio Mathis Jr. keeps it. He is tackled by number 4.
It looks like that will be enough for the first down. So Hamilton has it at the Comet 12. 1st and 10.
Yeah, we've seen Mathis run the ball a lot today too. And personally, we saw him go out with their injury earlier. He was only out for a play back in the 1st quarter. But I'm kind of surprised about how many hits he's taken so far this game and how it could play a role in the future.
Man in motion for Hamilton. Penalty flag's thrown immediately. It looks like it's going to be a false start.
False start, Hamilton.
On R.J. Shepard. So that'll push the Big Blue back 5 yards.
To the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15.
Still first down. .6:18 remains in the 3rd. Four receiver set for Hamilton. Mathis rolling towards his right, feeling pressure from Dowers. And Kyle Wilson with the coverage, but oh my goodness, what a catch from R.J. Shepard.
Mathis Jr.'s pass is completed to Cornell.
I tell you what, that is one of the best catches I've seen all year long, if not the best.
Line of scrimmage will be the 2-yard line. It'll be first and
As
goal, Hamilton.
Cornell Bennett McCoy absolutely high points that ball at the 2-yard line. And I tell you what, I thought Kyle Wilson had a chance of picking that ball off, but
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing he could do about that as Bennett McCoy just absolutely mossed him.
Yeah. Will right there, one-on-one with Kyle Wilson. He played the ball perfectly, but that's got to be one of the best catches I've ever seen in my commentary career. That was just incredible.
Handoff to Bennett McCoy, and he'll charge forward for Hamilton. Touchdown. So 29-0, now the Hamilton lead.
Touchdown was sponsored by our group credit union. Whether you need a student checking account for them or an auto loan for yourself, our group.
Yeah, it looked like a rush to the left side right there. Great blocking by the offense right there. Was able to get in the end zone unscathed. It looks like it's going to give this Big Blue offense, or excuse me, this Big Blue team, looks like a 29-0 lead. Pending it might be 30.
Connor Stevens will attempt the extra point, and he knocks it through. It's been very reliable. So I'm knocked on that 40-yard field goal earlier, and that extra point right down the middle. So 30-0 lead over Mason. Hamilton looking to have their second straight shutout. Last week took down the Lakota East Thunderhawks 21-0, and this defense from Hamilton's staying strong.
Yeah, I mean, even in their first game too, they lost 18-10 against Baden. But Baden, we know, is one of the better Division II teams out there in Ohio high school football. And this Big Blue defensive unit, I think they are putting up a great argument right now to be the best in the GMC. I mean, 2 shutouts in a row is something that's very hard to do, but they're putting up a great case for that right now. And I mean, just the way they've played, especially up front, it's been terrorizing the Comets all game, and it's something that I think is probably their best vocal point, honestly.
Stevens will boot this one away. Dunn catches it at the 10. Showing off his speed, trying to get towards that left sideline. But another amazing open field tackle.
Gannon Romer with the tackle.
Gannon Romer all over the senior linebacker, making some plays on special teams.
It'll be first and 10, Mason.
So Comets will start at their own 21-yard line, and we haven't seen them past the Big Blue 40 all game long.
Yeah, but I think this last drive we saw a lot of improvements. I think we need to see, considering the time that's left in the game, I think they need to start relying on mostly passing plays in order to get down the field.
This one, a handoff down the middle. Talley going nowhere. Dropped the ball at the end, but they're going to say he was down.
Jaden Smith is the ball carrier for
Jaden Smith, excuse me, the ball carrier for Mason. And Jaden Smith, this junior, we haven't seen him
tackled by a host of Hamilton
on the field a lot this season, but out of all 4 of the Comet running backs, it definitely has the most breakaway speed. You know, his only concern, he does run pretty high, and that does present some fumble concern, as we saw him drop that one there, but luckily he was marked down. So
that is true, yeah.
Comets, they're really needing that speed right now, so that's why he's on the field. As Schaaf takes this one himself. I'm not able to get much out of it, only a 1-yard pickup.
Ball carrier for the Comets.
It's going to look like.
This will be second or third and 9.
Yeah. it's just been a tough go-around, I think, just on the offensive end. I'm kind of surprised at this point, though. When you're down 30-0, you got nothing to lose. You know, just try to fling the pigskin at that point. Just, you know, try to get something going. Because I think if there, in most cases, if you're going to have a make-or-break play, it's going to be in the air and not on the ground.
See what the Comets decide to drop on 3rd down. Schaaf drops back. Scrambling to his right, trying to find Greer down the field. That ball batted up in the air. So it'll be 4th and 9. And the Comet punt team trotting onto the field.
That was a great throw on the run. I mean, in a beautiful spiral. It was probably like a solid 15, 20 yards downfield. It was just blanketed on all sides for the Comet receivers. And it's just been the status quo of this game so far. I mean, just hard to get anything going. We're going to see this punt team out once again.
And Noah Dower's now back to punt. And it'll be touchdown right at midfield. Dowers definitely doesn't have, you know, the leg of Quinn Brown, but definitely he's going to be consistent and he's able to at least get it to midfield.
Yeah, that was a solid 40-yard, 40-yard punt. I mean, at this point where, you know, you saw earlier you had a punt that went, you had punts going almost every which way. I think having a punter that's at least consistent is what you're probably looking for right now on the special teams front.
So Mathis in the shotgun. There'll be a handoff down the middle to Bennett McCoy. Picks up 4 yards on the carry. 2nd and 6. Tammy Adesanya with the tackle for the Comets.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if you're Hamilton, there's about a minute left in the 3rd quarter. You're starting to get to that 4th quarter mark. I say this is probably right around the time. And it looks like there's going to be a flag on the field.
Looks like one of the Comet defenders jumped. So I'll make this 2nd and 7 turn into 2nd and 2.
But back to what I was saying, I think at this point in the game, if you're Hamilton, you're just trying to chew the clock out at this point, because I think 30-0 here, you just don't want to risk turning the ball over and give this Comet offense decent field position. I think you just want to go ahead and take this victory.
Mathis taking a shot down the right side of the field, and he pulls it in.
Antonio Mathis Jr. pass is completed to Chiron Navy.
He connects with Chiron Navy.
On the tackle, Carson McCoon.
Well, never mind for playing conservative, I guess. Mathis just chucks it deep. As that's another deep completion. We've seen a couple of those so far in the 2nd half, but that's going to be another opportunity for Big Blue. So we're going to wrap up the 3rd quarter at the Comets' 3-yard line here. Big Blue at the Comets 3, looking at a blowout right now, 30-0 Hamilton. We'll be right back with you after this break.
Welcome back to Hamilton High School.
Cornell Bennett McCoy with the carries. All that plays a big blue.
In the first play of the fourth quarter, Cornell Bennett McCoy will rush it in for a 3-yard touchdown. And Hamilton continues to extend their lead now to over 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's just a simple run up the middle at this point, just, bread and butter offense. But up 36-0 now for Hamilton. This is definitely blowout material, and maybe even more. It's the extra point. It's coming up, and Stevens will make it.
Extra point by Connor Stevens is good. 11:04 remaining in the third quarter.
So,
Fourth quarter.
11:04 remaining left in the game for the Comets. I think the goal on this drive is to at least score, for sure. Because, at least on paper, 37-3 or 7 is a lot better than 37-0. And I think if you're Hamilton right now, this is probably a great opportunity to get some of the younger guys in, get them some reps in a real varsity game while you have this lead. But I think we were mentioning this to the folks back if you were with us earlier in this presentation. Coming into this game, this isn't the exploit I don't think anybody expected. When we back last year when we played Mason Hamilton, it was a 28-7 game that the Comets ended up taking home. But this one just completely flipped on its head, 37-0 so far.
Yeah, and the GMC, some may say it's a little bit down this year. Lakota West started off 0-2. They were a powerhouse last year. Fairfield 0-2. They were, near the top of the GMC last year. Princeton, was looking like, at the clear top. But I tell you what, Hamilton making a strong effort. Cale Jordan with the return all the way up to the 32 on the squib kick. But again, we're still very early on in the season. Only 2 GMC games played, so we'll try not to overreact to some of these games. But Comets, they have a tall task ahead of them next week as they're taking on the Princeton Vikings. And Coach Andre Parker and his always brings out a fierce squad. But first you got to try to come back here tonight. 37-0. It's going to be a tough task. But Ashton Schaaf in the shotgun for the Comets. 10 minutes left in the game. As a fake toss, Schaaf rolling to his left, connects with with Brandon Dunn, the junior receiver. And a nice little out route there for a 17-yard pickup. That'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, fake pitch to the right and rolled out to his left. You don't see that too often, but on the out route, that was just a great throw right there by Ashton Schaaf.
Looks like Hamilton's going to call their first timeout of the half. A couple substitutions. So a few men in the black jerseys running off the field. So Coach R.V. Crouch just wanted to call it timeout.
Yeah, back to what we were saying about the coming up, Comets are playing Princeton. It will be at Dwyer Field. It will be at home. But that is another team that has an elite defense. And I think it's definitely a tall task, like you're saying, coming into next week. But I think for the offense especially, there's a lot to figure out. And we've seen a lot of different looks so far. But there's been some positives, I think. Tally has ran the ball amazingly, and I think we've seen a lot of good throws so far from Ashton Schaaf. So hopefully there's stuff to build on coming from this game.
Schaaf will toss it to Jaden Smith, and Smith has some room on the outside,
Pitch goes to Jaden Smith.
And he'll pick up 10 yards on the carry. But there is a penalty flag on the field. It'll be a hold on the Comets.
It's almost like every time on offense, almost like it's one step forward, two steps back. A lot of these big plays we've seen from the Comets has been taken back from penalties too. But for the play call, that was a great play call, I thought. Jane Smith, he's a guy known for his speed. And when you give him a pitch route to the outside, you give him a lot of room to work with. You give him a head start and room to operate, and that's a great gain.
So 1st and 20 for the Comets, 8:45 remains in the game. This will be a handoff to Smith. Up the middle, takes a big hit. I want to say
looks like
it could be a face mask. Yeah, penalty flag thrown
it looks
at
like
the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you saw his neck jerk right there, and I think that will be a face mask. So fortunately,
Tackled by Alex Johnson.
looks like the
Personal
refs.
foul, face mask on
Yeah,
Hamilton.
face mask will be called. So thankfully the holding call we just saw was kind of nulled by the face mask call, as that's going to move the Comets up for, looks like a solid 10 yards.
Takes it up to the Hamilton 46-yard line.
To the 46 to be exact.
1st and 2.
This Comets in Big Blue territory now.
1st and 2. You don't see that too often.
An 18-yard penalty.
For
That
Jordan,
pass
ball's incomplete.
will hit the floor.
That'll bring up 2nd and 2.
Schaaf was feeling some pressure.
Yeah, I thought for a second looks like Clark might have put a hand up there and just able to tip it, but regardless, let's bring up 2nd and 2. You still got a lot of options here to pick up that first down.
Up the middle to Smith, and he does a flip on the hit, but lands it.
Jaden Smith with the carry for Mason.
That'll be a nice 7-yard pickup for a Comet first down, and the Comets have some young guys on the field right now. I mean, we see Jaden Smith at running back, Ethan Jordan, one of the receivers in the game.
It looks like Garrett O'Connor just clocked in too. He is a sophomore wide receiver. He's number 84. You see him at the top of the screen, but get a lot of young guys going. I mean,
so Schaaf in the shotgun, Jordan in motion. It'll be a handoff to Smith.
Jaden Smith with the carry for Mason.
And it looks like somebody lost their shoe on the play. One of the Big Blue defenders.
30-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2.
They'll give Smith 8 yards on the carry.
with a burst of speed so far. It's definitely been a big impact on the running game so far. The Comets has been one of the few bright spots that they've had today.
Smith again on the left side. Smith up the sideline. And he'll be pushed out of bounds by Michael Fulton, but not after the 15-yard carry. And Comets are in the red zone for the first time tonight. Ball at the Big Blue 15, and Jaden Smith showing some promise at the running back position. He's definitely got that speed.
Yeah, and also great vision too. Just able to cut it outside most of the time, able to get those big gains we keep seeing.
Schaaf, another handoff to Smith.
Jaden Smith with the carry.
Will be wrapped up after a 4-yard gain.
Noah Licata with the tackle for Hamilton.
Noah Licata with the tackle for Hamilton.
It's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Comet offense. Looks like Smith is going to be coming out of the field. Coming in for Smith is Gavin McDaniel, the junior. As now looks like we're going to be in a shotgun formation.
Under 5 minutes now left in the game. As Schaaf is going to take this one up the middle himself. He'll pick up 5 yards on the carry. See if that's enough for the first down. And they'll give it to him. So 1st and goal for the Comets. They're going to try to get some points on the board, make this score look just a little bit more respectable. Schaaf with the handoff to Smith, and Jaden Smith is untouched into the end zone for the Comets' first score of the game.
Yeah, looks like it might have been a read option right there. Made the right read. Smith up the middle. He's had a pretty solid game so far. To just add to a touchdown, it's been a good night for Jaden Smith for sure. It looks like there might have been an offsides call.
There's a flag
on the play. PAT was still made. We'll see what the refs call it.
Looks like it'll be offsides on Hamilton. They're going to make Gogol re-kick it, moving them up a huge 1 yard. So makes this, I guess, a little bit easier of a PAT.
Yeah, put a little less juice on it, yeah.
And this one's blocked.
Extra point is blocked. 2:23 remaining in this game. Your score, Hamilton Big Blue 37. Mason Comets 6.
That's just really telling of how the game's been. Comets cheer up by 31 points here with just under 2.5 minutes left in the game, and Comets have got a lot of work to do before heading into next game. Arguably their toughest opponent all season long in the Princeton Vikings. They're going to have to shake this one up and just kind of turn over a new leaf, because every week's a new week.
For sure. Regardless, I think you saw from some bright spots from the game. For sure, though, Jane Smith, just had a great game too. I think there were some early on, especially the defense, I think was playing great. Guys like Kai Wolfhoek and Kyle Wilson were making a lot of plays out on the field. It just after halftime, it just seemed like it kind of fell apart on all fronts. But regardless, Comets able to put points on the board. Is going to make it 37-6, and Hamilton's will not have 2 shutouts in a row now for the start of their season.
And a whistle blown right before the kickoff.
Timeout taken by Hamilton.
And Hamilton calls a timeout.
It's a very interesting timeout call. Might need to make a substitution or two in there. And then for Hamilton, it looks like next week they're going to be playing at Oak Hills. It's the team that Mason beat last week. So they might be looking at a 3-1 situation. If that's the case, they might be front runners for that GMC title.
And how about that boot from Max Gogol? Fielded right at the 1 yard line. The Comets special team unit able to bring him down at the 15. I tell you what, for being only a sophomore, Max Gogol has one heck of a boot.
For sure. That is definitely the perfect kicks right at the 1 yard line. It's farthest you can get without them taking it for a touchback.
And it was a very directional kick too, fielded right at the right hash.
Yeah, pick a side when you're on special teams. You want to get it to a hash or the other. That was a really good kick. by the sophomore.
So we've got a running clock here. It's the clock nearing 1 minute. Hamilton likely only going to run 2 plays. Take 2 knees, and Hamilton lined up in victory formation. Typically, we like to call that the best formation in football, but only, for the big blue tonight. But we appreciate you all for sticking with us tonight. I know we've had some technical difficulties. We're trying our best up here in the metal stands to bring you all coverage of this game. Looks like Hamilton will line up for 1 more knee. And that will do it from Hamilton High School. The Big Blue with a statement win over the Comets, as they will take this GMC showdown 37-6. Comets, we've got a lot of work to do heading into next week against the Princeton Vikings, and that'll be at home at Dwyer Field. We'll be bringing you all of the coverage from that one. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. Savannah Libby working behind the scenes, doing the directing. Alyssa Feinblatt working the camera. And on the mic, I've been Adam Little, joined alongside my partner, Braden Wass.